At first, you really don't think much of it. Dentists, osteos, and stuff like that. They seem more like luxuries than necessities for those people that complain about those little aches and pains. Hey, I was proud of the fact that I hadn't been to the dentist since I was a kid. Bragged about it to my friends while sculling a can of Coke. But I can't afford those luxuries. I have credit cards, fines, rent to pay off. Sensitive teeth aren't as important as not getting your gas cut off. But then, one day I did get sick. I wasn't dying or anything, but it was that bad flu that was going around. Everyone kept telling me to go to the doctor. But what doctor bulk bills nowadays? I had utilities to pay off, so I just worked through it. Then one day, I fainted at work. Dropped a whole heap of plates. So my boss said I couldn't get any more hours until I got better. They don't give casuals sick leave, so I couldn't work for 3 weeks. So getting my gas cut off wasn't an issue anymore, because I couldn't pay rent.
Like most kids my generation, I fell into debt pretty easily. You know, I got a credit card to cover schoolies, and then there were those phone bills every month, the ones that keep getting away from you. Then I started getting those phone calls. You know, the ones I mean. Hi, I'm Bernard from such and such collection agency. How are you? How are you? They call that courtesy. Like courtesy somehow makes it easier to get harassed over the phone. So when I finally got out of uni and got a full-time job, I promised myself that I'd find some way out of this hole I'd found myself in. So I worked hard, paid my bills, tried to save some money, save what I could, which wasn't much. Then some idiot without insurance sideswiped me in the city. You know, it's like you've got to have a car. I worked in the city, but I lived in the outer where it was cheaper. So then I had to max out my cards again just to get myself back on the road. Started to dread the sound of the phone. Don't like answering it, in case it's more courtesy.
I know it must seem like a bit of a first world problem, not being able to afford the restaurant or the movie ticket. I used to tell myself to get some perspective. It's not like I'm out living on the street or on the dole. It's not like I don't actually have any friends. I remember once I went out with my sister for her hen's night, and I'd saved up for a couple of months and even put off paying a few bills so I'd have that little bit extra. But the restaurant ended up costing more than I'd expected. So when they all went out clubbing afterwards, I had to leave. My sister was so upset with me, and I wanted to be there for her, but I guess I just felt more embarrassed than anything else. I never used to think of myself as poor, but every time I'd have to say no to going out with friends or even just for coffee, I'd feel like something less, a lesser person. So now I just sit at home by myself, and I don't have any friends. I feel alone.
Sometimes it's really hard to say no to your kids, but it's something as a parent that you just have to learn to do. I mean, not everything they want is good for them. Not everything they want is even possible. Times are really tough for families at the moment. Utilities are going up, groceries are going up, school costs are going up. Even with my husband and I both working, it's just hard. But it's really hard when you've got to tell your son that he can't go to his friend's birthday party because we just can't afford a present. Or that they can't go on their school excursion to the zoo with the rest of their class because we just can't afford the excursion fees. It's hard for the kids to understand why they keep missing out and why they can't have things that their friends have. mean, the other day my daughter came home from school in absolute tears. There'd been a free dress day at school to raise money for the school music program, and I couldn't even afford the few dollars that it cost. I mean, some of the kids at school picked on her for the whole day, calling her poor. She asked me through her tears, why were we poor? I tried to say to her that we weren't, that everyone struggles with debt. But I couldn't even afford the few dollars it cost for a stupid free dress day. And my daughter, she couldn't stop crying.